Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, KGeekX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Wheel of Time. We're now into episode 3 of season 2, which is called What Might Be. So last episode ended with pretty much all of our main people kind of starting to cross those roads into the, let's say, harder part of the season. With the girls at the White Tower, we see that Egwene is kind of dealing with the fact that she's not quite moving or accelerating at the pace that she thought she would, as well as a little bit of jealousy over all the star treatment that Nynaeve is getting. Nynaeve is still blocked on her powers, but she discovered a secret about the Red Aes Sedai that she's still processing, but she's also being thrust into the trial of the Arches, I think it's all, or something along those lines, which apparently is one of the most extreme, or one of the more extreme tests is what I'm assuming that you can go through as a novice. With Matt, he met a new friend in the neighboring cell, somebody that we saw from season 1, but unfortunately she saw some things that Matt might potentially do that has potentially put a wall between them yet again. Maybe not a literal one this time, but definitely a figurative one. But like I said in the last episode, I'm curious to see if she's going to do anything or feels like she should do anything to try to interfere. And then with Perrin is kind of getting more in touch, I think, with these abilities that he has. He's still resistant to actually believe that he has them, but now he knows that there's somebody out there who kind of can sense that there's something going on with him. But we saw that unfortunately, like he and Loyal and a bunch of the people he was traveling with, was their name, the Sharon, I think, have all been captured by the creepy sea people, as well as our big bad of the season. And finally, with Lan and Moiraine, they have gone their separate ways. After barely surviving an attack by Fades, Moiraine basically made the executive decision that she does not want Lan to stay with her anymore and sent him back to the White Tower. Yeah, lots going on with all of our people. And like I said, a few obstacles in the way of some of our characters. Oh, and yes, I'm sorry, I completely forgot about Rand. Rand, trying to learn more about how to use his weaving from none other than our baddie from last season, Logain. But yeah, that's where we are. I'm very excited to get into this episode and see where people are going to move from here. So let's jump right in. But before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do reactions to shows like this as well as many others. So if you'd like to watch me do this one, follow my journey here, or watch other ones, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you can be notified when I do more uploads of this show and many more. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it so very much if you hit that like button. It just helps me a lot with the algorithm for other people to see my stuff. So I appreciate that very, very much. And the same goes for those of you who've been here before. Welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're not a subby already, please go ahead, hit that button, join the fam. We'd love to have you here. Okay, that out of the way, guys. Let's get into episode 3 right about now.
We don't know why they were made. Most we've learned at great cost to avoid.
Wait, what?
Many Aes Sedai have been killed or burned down learning that.
You want me to just walk through them?
Right? This is the information you're telling me now?
It will bring you face to face with your greatest fears.
And death. Don't forget death.
Once you begin, you must continue to the end.
Gotcha.
Refuse to go on.
Once and never out.
With enough silver to support you for a year, but you will never be allowed back.
Okay. Second. She was like, option A.
And you will know danger here. Some women have entered and never come out.
Great. Option A still.
If you are doing this for someone else, you will fail. Do this for you. Or not at all.
Okay. I see the point. Option A still seems like the sane choice. Kind of what you would have wanted, but let's face it, she's not going to leave Egwene there, so. Oh my god, you have to go in naked? Oh, no, wait. Option A.
Not even the one power will be available to you inside the Arches.
Okay, good to know. But I don't understand why I don't get a belt. Like, what's a belt going to do to help me? But anyway. Oh, wow. Y'all just shutting down like Windows 95 PC right in front of me.
The way back will come but once.
Ah, okay. So that's why some of them are lost in there. Yeah, see, you would have lost me at the part where they're like, we don't actually know why they created these or why they're here, but we like to send people in to see if they can figure it out. Like, what? So she has to go through all 3 arches. Did I understand that right? Or just this one 3 times? It must be all 3. Ooh, look at your hair blowing in the wind, girl. She looks so much younger with her hair out, actually. The way they have it in the braid for this show makes her look so severe. That looks like a very childish dress.
There you are.
Is that your daddy?
Dad.
Your dad was cute though. See where the good looks in the family come from.
That should do it.
Aw.
Don't forget.
Look at
Roots are
her.
poisonous. Remember, Red is dead.
Red is dead. Got it. So no Red Aes Sedai. Why in God's name are you hunting a man who's just gathering herbs and a child? Explain? Really? A girl, sir? Is that her mom? Yep, her mom said not today, bitches. How dare you stab her baby?
Run!
Yeah, we'll have to tend to that later. Who the hell are these people and why do they attack children? I have questions. But her mama was a badass. I'm seeing where she gets her from. Good looks from daddy, badassery from mommy. Mommy looks good too, by the way, but just saying.
I need you to be a brave girl now. Whatever happens, you have to be very quiet and stay down here.
I can help you, Dad.
All right, this is what she recited last season and Lan had to translate it, right? This trauma, oh my God, actually hearing your parents get killed. Behind you, sweetie, you gotta go. You can't help them. I can see now how people get trapped in here. Because subconsciously, she's still there and wants to do something even though she cannot change the outcome. And this is such a good metaphor for trauma because we get stuck in it. And we want to keep, our minds keep replaying ways to change it, but we can't. And that's why we have to move forward. Good girl. You gotta let go of the past, honey. There's nothing you can do. But God, that would be so horrifying. No wonder she's got such a hard exterior. A simple towel for my wound would have been fine. My God, what a horrible memory though. Poor thing. Yeah, you could have started with the healing part before the cold shower. But interesting that if you get hurt in there, you get hurt out in the in body. Next gate.
The way back will come.
But once we get it, it's gonna keep going through. Like that trauma was obviously one that shaped her forever, but I feel like it's gonna get worse as she gets older. You got this, Nynaeve. You are the baddest bitches, girl. You got this. Breakbone fever? Plague? Blight? Both?
It spread through the two rivers after your death.
Oh no, cover it up.
You don't understand what these herbs can do.
You abandoned us. I may not be a wisdom, but I'm the one who stayed.
Ooh. Guilt.
There has to be another way. We can't. Don't judge me, girl.
Can you let me
Your job
finish?
was to protect us, and you left us.
Okay, so we have some guilt. This is why she's so attached to the kids.
This isn't your home anymore.
Okay, ma'am, all I wanted to know is why you were giving them red herbs and you gave me this whole read down. Sounds like so you're feeling a little guilty and projecting it onto me. Rude. You don't have the power here, honey, remember? Or did you forget already? Look at him, he's like, are you just praying over me or what's going on? So she went to the tower to learn and didn't learn enough. That would explain her venom against the Aes Sedai. Unfortunately, you cannot stay until the herbs take their...
Please don't go.
I promise you, I'm coming back.
Nynaeve! Nynaeve!
Good girl.
You are washed
I thought that one would be a little easier to run away from.
clean of your sins and the sins committed against you. You come to
We
us.
need to go.
So this is current timeline she was in?
Once you begin, you must continue.
Third gate's like, what's up? Come on, girl, you've gone through this much. Just finish up. But that makes sense. Nynaeve feels such a responsibility for people around her. I'm sure in the back of her mind, she's been worrying about how the Two Rivers has fared since she left. Because she didn't want to leave. Why is it so dark? Je ne like. The hell? And why is she in red? What's going on? What is this roller coaster? I don't like it. I want out. Why is she in red? No, is she gonna become a weirdo?
Our lioness. Stop.
That was the most unclear one we've had yet.
I don't remember what I did.
Thank you.
It's all right. The blood isn't yours.
That doesn't make it
You are sealed to us now.
No,
Oh?
no.
She's like, I quit.
What did you make me do?
Your fears are your own property, child.
That's true. That's all in your subconscious.
If being an Aes Sedai means trusting the tower over everything and everyone else, I won't. Never.
Nynaeve.
I said I don't want your ugly ass ring.
If you leave this room, you will never be allowed to return.
Why would I ever want to go back there? 3 of the most traumatizing moments of my life. But yeah, any idea of her actually killing Lan? There's no way. She's like, yeah, I'm ready to go.
I need you.
Yeah, but what about me?
You don't. I don't miss you so much.
Oh, look at that. She got over it quick. Nynaeve was never really ready for that place. At least she's got a pocket full of money. Oh, look who's coming back. Interesting.
Just call me angel of the morning, angel.
She's like, am I dreaming? Am I still in the simulation? But yeah, I feel like this is actually the best thing for her to see him after like possibly hallucinating that she murdered him. Oh, they both need that hug on multiple levels.
Home. To the Two Rivers.
You sure it's still there?
I could come with you
Could you?
if you help me.
Oh, well.
Of course I'll have you.
She's like, you must be kidding. That's all I've been thinking about for the last 6 months. Like, when's it coming back? God. I knew it! Didn't I say she was still in the arches?
Nynaeve.
I know, baby. I wish it was real too. Did she miss it?
I don't know. It was a strange feeling, like
It arrives but once.
this was all a dream.
Honey, you have to know that it would never be this easy with Lan, though. As much as I wish it would. I love this. This is going to be my screen. Yes, this is the thumbnail. Yes. Yes. Oh, well, you lost her. Good job. Because Red Aes Sedai should never be trusted.
Nynaeve Almira has made her choice.
Don't blame her.
Some are just not up to the task of wearing this ring.
No, she trusted you.
Yep.
I hope your conscience never lets you make peace with that.
I agree. What did the jar ever do to you, girl? Whoo. Yeah, a lot of things didn't make sense about that. I'm like, how would Lan know about the arches? And why would he come back? Like, he's already been through the Aes Sedai stuff. He wouldn't think he has to come rescue her.
Who are they? What do they want?
They're the people, evil people of the sea. Never trust the sea. The fact that they actually had to carry this whole ass platform, God knows how far, is actually still appalling to me. That alone made me slap the shit out of this girl. Okay. Got a little teenage badass here. Hormonal and angry. Oh, they're trying to maybe find girls with the power?
You squat on stolen land. Land which once belonged to us. And will be ours once again.
Alright, sure. Can you give us a chance to leave then? How long ago was this land taken, okay? Because it's been a few hundred years. Give us the time to migrate. I get it, though. They're probably going to take anyone who could oppose them.
The debt of your forefathers shall be forgiven. You will share in the prosperity of the Shan-Chan's return.
Forced conversion. Hi. Staring contest?
Who will be the first to swear the oaths and bow before the High Lady Surah?
Here's the thing. I got bad knees. The whole bowing thing's hard. She just wants him killed. Because she know he ain't gonna bow.
Avert your eyes and kneel.
You bloody well like that.
I only have one eye. I'm not averting. Ew. I hate spitting. So gross. But you know what? He's gonna die in his terms. Good for you, sir. Or I guess he hopes he dies.
Those who will not swear the oath will have the oath sworn for them.
It's not really a true swearing though if you okay. I mean, it was fast, at least. I respect it. My guy said I'm not doing it. So it's a choice. It's not an easy one, but it's a choice. Oh, Loyal, I know you precious eyes don't deserve this. Cowards. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Where's the other wolf guy? That's what I want to know.
Our pride is not worth more than our lives.
And besides, kneeling right now, I get it. Perrin, not now, baby. I get it, though. Kneeling doesn't mean you mean it. You just gotta survive the day at this point. Perrin's like, I'm coming for that chick in that ugly ass hat, and I'm coming for that bearded bastard. You wait. On my 6'15" self having to go down on my knees in this dirt. I feel you, bro. Get your revenge, baby. I almost forgot about these guys. Would you like some grill? The side eye. That's actually pretty legendary. That was bombastic.
Keep your hair short, but you can't hide what you really are.
I was about to say, it's still pretty red. Still pretty red.
How long are you going to wait?
I'm sorry.
Before you ask me what you want to ask me.
Exactly. With these pregnant stares you keep giving me.
Must have taken you months to work your way in here.
Read him, Logan. Rand really thinks he's that smart, but he ain't. Bless him. He's just pretty.
I remember you.
Yep.
From Tarvalon. Months later, all these miles away. So ask me.
Right? Get to the point. Tired of just coming in here and creeping on me like a perv every day.
I want to know how to control them.
Where am I supposed to find a bottle of wine like that?
Worked out how to get yourself here. I'm sure you can work this out too.
You are now officially his bitch, is basically what he was trying to tell you right there.
Who? What who?
Oh, Celine. You really were a shepherd, weren't you?
He's like, yeah, I lived in the bushes, far away from everyone.
Where would I find such a wine?
You're gonna tell me why you're so keen on this bottle all of a sudden?
Can you get out my business?
Come on then.
Where are we going?
To bed, clearly, because that's the only thing I use you for. I don't know.
No, this isn't how I intended for you to find out. I'm sorry.
What's going on? Where's
She's
Nynaeve?
lost in the arches.
Your grief is your own. Face it, and in time, you will grow stronger. Like roots of a tree when met with rock.
I don't need metaphors right now. You just told me my friend is dead.
But know the pain will pass.
Wow, that was rehearsed. A little too rehearsed for my liking.
Get out.
Respectfully.
Egwene, whatever you're
Get out!
Yeah,
I
she
don't
needs
even
time.
know you. I don't want you here. Just get out!
I don't think our good girl is taken out that easily, though. She just wants to spend some time with her man, okay? Even if it's virtually, all right? This is like the magic version of VR, okay? She's having no time with Lan since Lan be out there just being all, oh, I got my duty, blah, 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 blah. When really, he had a duty to her in her bed. Just kidding.
I lost a sister this morning. A woman of incredible power.
Whose fault was that?
The door's open, you're free to go.
Interesting. She's not joking.
You never would have abandoned your friends. Well, Egwene is right here in this tower. If it's one thing she needs more than ever, it's a friend.
But will you go to her? That's the question. Because we all know Marie didn't leave him.
So after 5 months of these questions and games, you're done with me. That is bollocks.
Oh, not us having a little bit of Stockholm Syndrome.
You're an insidious coward who mistakes his own moral failings for cunning and wit. A stupid, desperate boy who wallows in self-pity, blaming his friends for leaving him.
Damn, she's reading you like a book though, son.
You left them.
Yeah.
And you'd do it again.
Probably.
Or run home. Or starve in the blight. It doesn't matter to me. Because you don't matter.
Ooh! Wow. That is Matt's greatest fear right there. Feeling insignificant. Yep, can't even say anything back because she just literally read every last deep-seated fear he's ever had. Matt annoyed me last season, but I don't think he deserved all that quite so bluntly.
You wanted her dead.
Not quite, but you did push her.
Don't walk away from me. I'm not done with you.
Oh! Saucy! We like it.
But you were supposed to be the smart one. The girl who knew her place.
There's an edge behind you, sweetie. Don't back up so much.
How dangerous it is to overstep.
Yeah, now you recognize.
It's not always the most powerful women who write history.
This is true.
It's the ones who survive.
That's right.
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
Know that, you bitty. Shoulder hit. She likes that shit though, sadly. To think she's like, maybe I was focusing on the wrong girl. Pretty sure after Egwene finds out what a interesting time her boy's been having, she probably would be very happy to join the Reds after that. She'll be like, men suck and they just lie.
Lady Delane has invited us to dine with her next week.
Yeah, I don't have time for dinner parties. I just want some damn wine. This costume design is very interesting. It's like a cross between like mid-century European and like Asian inspired, like Japanese type kimonos. It's interesting.
It must seem so barbaric celebrating like this while those poor people starve.
I mean, that's been the story of time for a long time.
Queen doesn't care. She wants the city back.
Let them eat cake!
One less poor mouth for the rich to feed.
Damn.
It's an elegant solution, really.
I mean, it sucks, but it's the truth.
Now are you going to tell me who it's for?
No! Get out of my business.
There is no reward.
No.
It's all deployed to parts of the Forgo.
She's like, oh, you're so cute. You're figuring out how the world works.
What is your reason for helping me?
I think she explained that in bed the other night.
Are you just going to leave me?
Yes.
You're going to miss the fireworks.
Don't worry. He'll be back in your bed by nightfall.
The urge to touch it.
How do I stop it?
Can you?
You can't.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like you have to learn to live with it.
Can't be contained. Eventually, we'll spit out of you.
Like this wine.
Always.
Wow. You went through all that work and he's wasting it.
They poisoned the world against men so they can castrate us. But they know
Only
that
the Reds.
only the dragon can defeat the Dark Ones.
Sure.
I can feel him.
You?
Hear his whispers.
This was a mistake.
That's madness.
You're sick.
That's disappointing. All that work.
But none of us can hide from what we are.
Oh, that is the theme of the season so far. But people are trying. But anyways, where's Nynaeve? I miss her. I hope she's at least, having some quality time with Lan while she's sitting in her dream state. Make it worth it. Will you step into the light, dear Matt, or will you keep creeping around in the shadows? Go to her, you coward. Go to her. Wow, back to the cell. How interesting.
Yeah, I don't know where to go.
All that matters right now is that door's open and it's time to walk through it.
Yeah, like you can figure that out on the outside. But I do appreciate him letting her out, though. Oh no, not Silver on a werewolf! How did they know? Ew!
I was starting to worry you might never wake up.
Get away from me, creepy.
You will be provided accommodations and a new life with the Shanja. But between us,
Ew!
it's not a coveted invitation.
Right?
It's all right. It's just water.
I don't trust you.
You know you have something inside you. Something that calls for blood. Something that sets your eyes on fire.
How dare you look into my eyes?
I want to meet the monster.
I'm sure you do, you weirdo.
Who are you?
Oh, we're getting gruff.
Who I am.
Ran killed you.
Is that what Moraine told you?
Mm-hmm. They coming for their leader. They're like, get away from him! Get away from him! That's right, leave our daddy alone! Oh no, don't hurt the puppies! They're just following their daddy! Stop getting so close. Social distancing.
I'll be watching your progress with great interest.
Great. Get away from me with your hot breath. Ugh. That's creepier than anything else you could possibly do with your magic, weirdo. Get out. But they're not gonna leave till you calm down. Oh, they came with you!
Let's go.
Let's not ask why he's got blood on his face. Let's just keep it moving. That's your pack, by the way. Yeah, he let you go.
What about Loya and the others? You can't help your friends from the back of a cage, man.
Go. Please be okay, my dreaded father, please.
Well, he's coming with me. It was mostly even his idea.
If you succeed, Moraine won't have anything over either of us ever again. Don't let me down.
Anyway, you let yourself down, ma'am. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay, these two are boring. Can we move on? Maybe she knows exactly what you are, Rand. Oh, geez. Just carried you right to bed, huh? And changed your clothes. That's some serious weaving. Was that necessary? Good Lord. You're supposed to be in a good mood after. Look at you setting a fire in the poorhouses. These people can't afford anything else, Rand. You could have set the fire in the big rich queen's house. Look at you. Look what you did. Look what you did. You bust a nut and you set the whole place on fire. You are a menace. Okay, are you in the arch room, Dwayne? You coming to get your friend back? That's what I like to see. Come on, girl. Take all that jealousy, turn it into some power and say, girl, I'm not going to become the most powerful because you decide to step out. It's going to be because I beat you fair and square. Bring her ass back.
You're not the first to try. In 3,000 years, there have been over 100.
Why are you here?
Lost friend. And it takes more than one Aes Sedai to open the arches.
So help me or leave.
That's exactly it. I don't need your lectures, sis.
The best outcome here is one of the sisters will catch you and you will be expelled.
You think I care about that now?
Yeah.
Right?
The Trolloc attacked. But she didn't die, did she? She survived, found you.
That's
And
true.
traveled with you here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't leave her.
I'll get us some blankets. We can stay the night.
Meanwhile, Nynaeve's like, I'm living my best life. I got my man. I got my village. Everybody's happy. This is what I've always wanted. Why would I ever go back to that crappy real world? Ew.
Mommy, look!
Mommy? She's had all the babies and everything, girl. Yes, I told you she was making use of this time. You don't go into a dream state like this and not make the most of it.
When did you get so grown up?
Literally just a few hours. Oh, okay. He's getting his hair down, baby. He is liking the domesticated life.
The Gwen said I can handle a few Trollocs.
Can they? Fantastic acting. Give this man an Emmy.
Do you regret leaving the tower?
Do you? That's the real question.
Can I have another honey cake?
You can have all the honey cakes you want, you little cutie.
Mommy?
Stella. Now, go.
Oh no, she's gotta go back in the cellar. We got some nightmares colliding.
I need you to be a brave girl. Just stay here.
Gonna whisper the same words to your daughter? Cut it off. You're too late. Yep, even in the fantasy, the reality creeps in. No! Even though I know it's not real, it hurts. When you lose everyone in your fantasy just the same. Don't you have the power of healing though, sis? You could have brought them all back. But see, if you keep training, you'll learn how to actually use the healing side. You know that part where you literally brought him back from the brink of death, honey? Can't do that from inside your fantasy.
Mommy?
Yes, love? Don't look. Daddy's only sleeping. The way back.
The way back will come but once.
But it came twice. For you. So it's telling you to get your ass out of there!
No, we have to go.
No, the baby's not real, honey.
I know.
The baby's not real, Nynaeve. Not yet. You can't bring her, Nynaeve. You know that. Yep. I know, baby, I know. But you'll get it again. You'll get it again. And it'll be better. I know, babe. That is her greatest fear. Having it all and losing it all. She's not the only one. Trust. This is why some people are scared to have it all. It's just like your little redheaded friend said there. She said that if there's anybody who can come back from the brink of death, it's Nynaeve, right? Everyone thought she was gone with the Trolloc attack. She didn't even have her weaves yet, and she managed to get out of that. Do not underestimate my girl, okay? She is that girl. Nynaeve is that girl, okay? Period, dot. Sorry, I got a little excited there. That was a fantastic ending. Okay, guys, well, that was episode 3 of Wheel of Time and the Wheel of Time. And that one was very, I'd say deep. This one was a lot more on the deep side of things. We actually haven't had a lot of action-packed episodes. I feel like the first episode gave us the most so far, but this one was really more about the storytelling and kind of getting more into the emotional and mental state of some of our main characters, which I think is important because I feel like this is the type of series where we got to go through that character building because eventually we know we're going to get the big battle, right? They've already been alluding to this a lot since season 1. We're going to have to go up against this dark one eventually. We're eventually going to have the one, aka Rand, having to go up against all the dark ones, all the fades, and, all that kind of stuff. So we're going to build up to that, but we need to take the journey. We need to take the path, and we need to understand more about each of these players and why they're important and how they're all going to kind of play their part, at least what I believe will be their part in taking down this dark one when the time comes. But once again, I'm going to go through each character because it's kind of easier to do that with how much goes down in these episodes. So I will start with Matt. Matt was let go. We see that after Nynaeve didn't come out of the arches in the way that the other sisters thought she would, they assumed she was gone. And we see that the Red Aes Sedai decide that, you know what, you can go, Matt, get out of here. And when it was happening, I was like, okay, maybe she was clearly upset and disappointed that Nynaeve didn't do what she thought. But I mean, I thought, between what happened with her kid and what was happening with Nynaeve, a part of me was like, hey, maybe she's just like, screw it. I don't even care anymore. Like, if I just lost our most powerful weapon, let me get rid of this kid. But it makes sense that she would have a plan. And that's when I kind of started to think maybe she had a plan, especially when she read Matt for filth. Oh my gosh. Like, she went up one side of that man and down the other. Like, she told him about everything from A to Z, birth to now. She read his soul. She was like, sir, you said your friends left you behind. I don't believe that. It's like, she knows Moiraine. Moiraine would never leave one of them behind when she spent so much time looking for them, right? So it's like, okay, you said Moiraine left you. Yeah, okay. You said your friends, abandoned you. Yeah, no. I've seen them. I've seen your spirit, and that's not the truth. You left them because you think that all your weaknesses are actually charming, but they're not. You're really just a scared little boy who runs away from anything scary, including your friends, and having to face up to the fact that you did something bad. That's really why you're here, and that's really why you're so comfortable being in this cell. Let's keep it 100, right? And Matt could not even respond because she said it. She said everything. Everything was the truth. There was not one lie detected. And I'm sad because I was really hoping that with Matt getting this knowledge that he would take that as maybe a wake-up call, right? Somebody who's only known him for 5 months, reading him like she's known him his whole life is pretty huge. But we'll see. Maybe it still will. I'm hoping some of this stuff will be ringing in the back of his head for a minute. But anyway, it was interesting, especially the part, like I said in the episode, where she said, you run away from everything, you're going to lose everything and everyone, like you're going to end up by yourself because of the way you are. And that's really, and then also she said, I don't care what happens to you because you don't matter, you're nothing. Those two things in particular. Every human being on the planet, that's the two things we care. Actually, I said there's three things that every human being on the planet, no matter who you are most important to us when it comes down to it. One, being loved. We all want to be loved. Two, feeling like we matter. And three, feeling like we're important. Those are the three things that every human being in the world wants and cares about. Those three things. If we have those three things, we have a genuine or generally good and stable life, so to speak. But if one of those things is missing or all of them, that really takes a toll on us. It really wreaks havoc on us. So that's really what Matt's biggest fear has been since last season, and we saw it. He feels an inferiority complex around his friends, right? We saw it in season 1 when it came to, his broken family and the fact that he didn't have as much money. I mean, in a village that didn't have much money to begin with, he was one of the poorer families. And then, he had Rand, the pretty boy with the good-looking girl who was going to inherit the big farm and everyone liked him. You had Perrin, who was already married and, was working as a smith and kind of had like this nice upstanding reputation within the village. He has Egwene, who again comes from a family that had some means, who was also studying to become a wisdom and was going to have a lot of respect and stature in the village, along with Nynaeve, who's like a mother figure. You get the point. Like, everybody seemed to have a thing and have a family and have a prospect of the family, but Matt didn't have those things. And so in his mind, there was a bit of a superiority complex going on there, or inferiority complex, I should say, for himself. And so these are his biggest fears, right? These are the things that really bother him. And I really think that part of one of the reasons the dagger was so attractive to him is that it kind of made him feel powerful and important, even if it was just for a brief second of holding that thing. So anyway, that was just an interesting scene. And again, some more insight into Matt and what kind of makes him tick at the moment. But it's not everything. Obviously, Matt still has a lot of love for his friends. He still does care about them. We saw how affected he was by the letter that was sent by Perrin. So, and we saw in the conversations last season he had with Perrin that he does have a lot of love and connection to these people. But yeah, he's got his own stuff to work through. And he's had them to work through since last season. And they're still there. But I'm really interested now to see what the Red Aes Sedai has planned for him as to why she's now letting him kind of go and do his own thing. Because he doesn't have the dagger that we know of. But like I said, in that prophecy we saw last episode, he somehow got his hands on it again. I'm assuming it's the same one. I could be wrong. But yeah, I'm really curious to see what the Red Aes Sedai thinks he's going to do. Because I think we saw some last season. She was really pissed that Moiraine figured out that these kids exist and that there's something there. And she doesn't know what that thing is yet. Like, she knows, yes, Nynaeve's powerful. She knows that Egwene's powerful. And I don't think she knows about Rand. I don't think she knows that Rand's the one yet. But anyways, she knows there's something going on with these kids, but she doesn't know, she can't see the thread. She can't see it all, how it all comes together. And that's really what is getting to her, right? She wants to know, she wants to understand like Moraine does, or maybe get a step up on Moraine, because we know that there's bad blood between those two as well. So I think she's trying to see if Matt will lead her to something now, because obviously she, at this moment, she thinks she's lost. She thinks she's lost Nynaeve, so she's like, I gotta see what I can work with what's left, right? And so, yeah, we'll see what happens with Matt being out on his own now, but we see that he's not really getting to go where he really wants to go, right? Ming is working with the Red Aes Sedai, so she's going to lead him someplace that she wants him to go. And again, I feel like much like pushing Nynaeve into the rings and threatening Egwene, the Red Aes Sedai is really trying to push these kids and seeing if maybe instinctually they're going to give a glimmer into what it is about them that makes them so special, either individually or together, although they're not even together right now. So that's Matt for now. Interested to see where that will go. Moving on to Rand, I guess. Rand, he is, as I said last episode, trying to figure out how to control the power. He wants to know how to use it properly. He's still very scared of it, clearly, right? Because his whole life he's been raised to believe, like most people in this world, that men and this magic are not allowed to be together, that it always makes people crazy and bad things happen. But obviously it's a part of him, and he's been using it unintentionally already. And so he just kind of wants to know how to get a grip on this thing for many reasons, but I think also for him to feel, but more suppress it, it sounds like. He doesn't really want to use it. He just wants to suppress it so he can go back to feeling like I'm just a simple farm boy. So he goes through a lot to get to Logain. We saw that, spoke to Logain. Logain, of course, is not a dummy. Like I said last season, he's crazy, but he's not stupid. So he's like, boy, when you going to come up and just tell me, like, I remember who you are. I saw you. We made eyes. I know you've got the power. Like, what is it you want from me? And finally, Rand says, I need to know how to control it. How do I do it? So my guy sends Rand on an errand because he wants to see how desperate he is, right? He wants to see, can I get this boy under my thumb, right? And so Rand does it. Initially, he is desperate, so he goes and we see him do the whole thing where he goes to get the wine. And in that whole excursion, he discovers that in this place he's been staying at, you know, there's a little bit of the whole French Revolution situation happening, right? We got the bourgeoisie who are eating and drinking and partying up in the higher city while people are literally living in ghettos outside the gates, barely able to survive, scraping by. And now this big hunt is coming up that the queen has proposed, and the winnings of this is supposedly going to be half the queen's fortune if you can find this mystical horn that can raise an undead army. So Rand finds out that this whole thing is actually just one huge political ploy to clear out the city, right? Basically, she's saying that with the blight encroaching on all these corners of her kingdom, people are leaving the country, coming to the city, but of course the city's not equipped to take care of so many people, and they're kind of just turning the outside into, unfortunately, a more unsightly place, and it's not making it look as pristine and pretty, you know, because the sad reality is a lot of these upper class folks and a lot of royalty in the past like to believe that their world was the pristine, sanitized, completely fake environment that, you know, palaces and courtyards and stuff around them pretend to be. And they like to just turn a blind eye to the real stuff that's happening outside the gates. And the queen doesn't like the fact that the reality of her kingdom is on her front doorstep. So she's created this hunt to get thousands of them potentially to go on this fool's errand where she knows probably a good 80 to 90% of them will not survive. And it's basically her way of cleaning it out. She didn't do it. She didn't just send out guards to go execute them, but it also cleans up her city, right? So Rand kind of had a hard lesson about how the world works and how dirty politics can be. And looks like he got a little prick of conscience, but you know, like that part where his little lover lady was like, oh my God, like you really thought this hunt was real? Like you really are from the country, boy. Like learn that most monarchs are not good people, unfortunately, or not all monarchs are looking truly out for the betterment of their people. They're really just looking at how to stay comfortable and keep people subjugated. So interesting moment for Rand to get a little life lesson there. But again, I'm wondering how it's going to tie in, because I thought maybe he was going to do something like maybe try to stop the hunt, and he might still, don't get me wrong, there's still time for that. But after all of that, he kind of gets disgusted with like his lover girl plus the whole rich scenario. And he discovers after talking to Logain again, like he's basically like, tell me what to do. And Logain basically says to him like, don't try to control it. Let it be. Let it do its thing. Like, you can't control it. And he says, you know, like, we're powerful. Like, we need to fight against the women and the propaganda. The blood of you know, one of the strongest people ever is in our veins, and it talks to us. And, you know, once Rand starts to listen to me, realizes that Logain, like I said, smart but crazy. And he's like, no, you're still crazy. Like, you want me to just let this thing run wild, which is what Logain basically did. But he's like, I can't do that. Like, it could hurt people. So he learns very quickly that Logain is not the right teacher, unfortunately, because he doesn't, even if he wasn't crazy, he also doesn't have the right, I guess, mindset around the weight of having such a power in your hands. So he ends up leaving Logain for now. I don't know. We spent a lot of time getting to him, so I don't know if he's actually gone yet. But for now, Rand has decided he does not want to continue trying to learn anything from this man. But we see that he goes back to the lover girl, and they have, you know, their moment. But I don't know, like, she keeps saying, I'm not scared of you, I'm not afraid of you. And that's a very interesting terminology. Again, like I said, I don't think she's completely as innocent as she seems. It's possible she has an idea who Rand is, but again, from my understanding, she wouldn't be able to see Rand's weaves. So she doesn't know if he's got the power per se, but maybe she just knows he's struggling with something. And that's why she said all that stuff, like, I'm not afraid of you, you know, whatever. But we'll see. I don't know. She might know more than she's letting on, because we already know from last season that there are dark friends who very much can pick up on the fact that Rand has something about him. So we'll see. Then we see that Rand wakes up and ends up accidentally setting the whole damn favela on fire. So we'll see. This is exactly what he's scared of, though, right? In his mind, this is what the power is. It's a dangerous thing. But again, I half agree with Logain, and then I think that he needs to be able to let it out or channel it at times, but he doesn't know how to do that in a positive way, so it just keeps coming out on these less than helpful bursts, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where we left with Rand. From Rand, we'll move on to Nynaeve. She really was the other part of this episode. So Nynaeve decides to go through with this trial of the arches. We get to learn a little bit more about it. And it's pretty scary. It's basically a once in, never out. Like, once you start, you got to keep going. There's no backing out. I guess that's a magical thing. You only get the opportunity to leave once. And also there's these caveats that the tower is put around it, basically saying you can go 3 times. You have 3 opportunities to try to do the trial. Nynaeve decides to go through with it. And of course they reiterate that your greatest fears are going to be faced through each of these arches. So try to prepare yourself. And also, yeah, they said if you die in there, you're dead. Like, if you go in there and you die, that's it. If you don't come back out, you're dead. And they tell her too that people have gone in, never come out. So just be aware. This is highly dangerous. And they gave her one last chance to back out, but she said, you know what, let me do it. I'm already here. So she goes for the first arch. We learn about Nynaeve's past. She did talk about it a bit in season 1, but we actually get to see it. It's a lot more visceral. Her literally watching her parents die in front of her. Horrible. You know, looks like she had a very idyllic childhood, good parents. Her mom was a badass just like her. Her dad kind of had that healing, soothing side to him. So you definitely see the 2 parts of them inside Nynaeve. But yes, unfortunately, we see that her first big trauma and first big fear was, of course, the worst thing that probably ever happened to her. Watching the 2 people she loved most die and her having to be helpless to do anything against it, right? That's a child's worst fear, really is anyone's worst fear, but to watch people you love die when you have absolutely no control over it. And again, that very much informs why Nynaeve is so hyper protective of her kids, right? Because she's already watched people she loves die and feel helpless. So she hates that, right? That is literally her deepest fear, truthfully, but that's the root of it, right? We get to see where it started. So the archway shows up when she's thinking, because, you know, she's thinking as an adult now, she's getting the axe, she's thinking, let me go up there and see if I can save my parents. But part of, like I said, part of the healing process when we go through a trauma is recognizing that when the trauma is done, it's done. Like, we can't do anything about what happened or the incident that caused the trauma. Her seeing the archway and, you know, really consciously choosing to drop the knife and walk through was a kind of that first step of her accepting or learning to accept that there are things she's just going to have to lead. Like, they're going to be outside of her control, bad things that are going to happen, and she's going to have to learn to just drop the guilt and keep moving, right? So that was the first one, and we see she got stabbed in the first one, and it actually showed as a wound when she got out. So it shows the reality of whatever's happening inside of these arches. It can actually manifest real wounds, and that's, again, why some people never come out. Second arch, she's an adult, and it looks like it's supposed to be real time. She's back at the Twin Rivers. People are sick. Remember, she was supposed to be the wisdom of that town, and she's supposed to be training Egwene to be a wisdom. So they were the only two people with medical knowledge in the town. They left abruptly, kind of at the worst time ever, after they'd been ransacked by the Trollocs. So in the back of her mind, clearly Nynaeve has been dealing with the guilt of leaving these people behind, even though she had her reasons and very valid ones for leaving. And that's been nagging at her. And that's a fear of hers, like, did I make the right choice by leaving Miss Life behind and these people that I care about to do this thing that I'm not even sure that I should be doing? And this goes back to last episode where the two warders were saying to her, you need to figure out why you're really here. And remember, the Red Aes Sedai said that too. If you came here for somebody else, you ain't gonna make it through. But the Arch shows up and she goes through it, but thinking she's gonna get help. She goes through it, but not because she thinks, oh, I should leave. She's going through it like, hey, healer, come with me. And they're like, no, sweetie, it's no, you got to leave that behind. Like it wasn't even real. Let go. Or maybe it wasn't. We don't know. Maybe it actually is real. But either way, another thing Nynaeve's going to have to learn is that she can't be everywhere at once and she can't save everyone. That was Arch 2. Then we get to the final Arch, which was the granddaddy. I'm like, ooh, this is going to be the mother of them all, right? And it seems simple at first. Right? It seems simple. She goes in and it's just a crazy haze, right? We just see all these flashes. She sees Lan. She's dressed as a Red Aes Sedai. There's a lot of voices going on. And it's like, I feel like that was her deepest, darkest, subconscious fears that just kind of came out in one big blurb and just kind of vomited all out at once. And she couldn't make sense of it. And she sees Lan and she hears yelling and screaming, although it didn't really sound like Lan to me. But then she comes out, or seemingly comes out, and she's like, I don't remember what just happened. What was that? And they're like, never mind, you made it out. And she's like, no, that doesn't make sense. Like someone's blood's on me, and the only person I clearly remember seeing other than myself was Lan. That's a problem. And they're like, no, shh, whatever. It's not real. It's not even your blood. Let's go. And her response being like, if being an Aes Sedai means turning my back on people that I care about, and choosing this tower and these beliefs over the people who love and support me and trust me, I will never take that ring. It's never going to happen. And that kind of it kind of harkens back to the second Arch, right? Where we see her come back, and remember that redheaded healer chick who was like, oh, you left us like this, and we're doing the best we can. We sent things away. We sent off for the Aes Sedai to come and help, and nobody came, and this is why we're like this, right? So there's that idea once again that the Aes Sedai don't take care of the little people, right? And we saw that in the first season, that's one of the belief systems that Nynaeve has, is that the Aes Sedai prioritize their belief systems and their hierarchy and their white tower over just the general, everyday people and their lives, right? So in her mind, when she comes out and they're all like, oh, who cares? She's thinking that's the same ideal again. Another fear she has about becoming an Aes Sedai, another block, right? So she's like, I'm not taking that ring if that's what y'all mean and that's what y'all believe in. That's not me. I can never be down with that. And I agree. Personally, I personally couldn't join anything that prioritizes or doesn't prioritize the lives of people that you care about. You know what I'm saying? So she seemingly gives up. She leaves. She's like, nah, y'all take your ring. I'm out. And she goes and she tells, she tells Egwene, yeah, I'm out. Can't do this anymore. And that's when I was kind of like, this does not feel right. This is when I started to think maybe she's actually still in this, because Egwene took it way too well. Egwene was like, oh, you're leaving? Okay, cool, bye. Like, I mean, yes, jealous Egwene, part of her might have been like, but also Nynaeve leaving her. That was a big thing. I'm like, Nynaeve would never just leave Egwene. She wouldn't do that. Not with all that's going on. Not with her not knowing where Perrin is right now, or directly know where Perrin is. Not with her not knowing where Matt is. Like, not with Rand dead. Like, there's no way she's leaving Egwene. There's just no way. So I was like, this is starting to feel weird. But I'm going to go with it. Maybe I'm wrong. And then she comes out, love of her life, just comes riding up on his black steed like the god he is. And he's like, I will come with you if you'll have me. I mean, yes, speak them romance novel lines to me, sir, please. But let's be 100 here. It wouldn't be that simple, right? Lan would never encourage her to walk away from her responsibilities at the White Tower. That's when I was like, okay, I feel like things are weird. Then, of course, we see the archway shimmer in the background. It doesn't fully form, though. If you notice, unlike the other times, it was like it started to, but then it pulled back. So I was like, okay, that was her way back. She didn't take it. But clearly it must have lit up on the outside, because that's when the ladies on the outside assumed that she'd be coming through. But anyway, she's like, She was too busy making out with Lan. She was like, y'all hear something? She was like, y'all hear something? I got my man. I'm really literally just buried between my man's pecs right now. I heard some tinkling. I don't care. It's not my man. So I'm not focusing on Anyway, so yeah, she decides to keep going with her fantasy instead. And so on the outside, we saw that they assumed that obviously she wasn't coming back because the normal procedure didn't happen. So we discover though that later on in her dream sequence, years have gone by, right? So time is not a thing in these places. She's got a baby now, gorgeous little girl. Her boys are okay, the ones that she knows about. Egwene is out there still doing her thing, but there's still the looming danger, right? The danger of the Trollocs, the danger of the Dark One, that never goes away. So it shows that deep in the back of her subconscious, she knows that she can't just hide away, right? It feels good in the moment, but the fact that the Trolloc attack happens, it's a bit of her trauma, but also her realizing, and which is another deep set fear of hers, which is that I could lose all of this again because the source of this problem still exists. I can't outrun it forever, right? So we see that in the end, and unfortunately her fantasy comes to a violent end. She loses everybody again, which again harkens back to the first arc, and she once again is in her worst place, her biggest fear, which is losing the people she cares about and being powerless to stop it. So, and again, the parallels too of her putting her daughter in the cellar to protect her while she goes out and tries to protect her daughter. So really, really good storytelling. That whole arc for Nynaeve, I think, was really brilliantly done. And in the end, we see that the arc shows up again and she tries to bring her baby with her. And that was like the part that really broke me, was her just realizing when she gets through the arc that her baby is gone. You know, this life is gone. The people that she cares about lot, like just that fear coming over her. And again, after the 2 trials she had before, that is a triple decker punch of all the worst things possible, all of your worst nightmares at once. So it's understandable how this trial breaks people, because physical wounds will kill you. It's true, or can kill you, but you can recover eventually. But the emotional and mental trauma that exists out there, especially the stuff that your subconscious will build up to a point of being so crazy that it could literally stop your heart, that stuff is nasty. That stuff will break you in ways that no human or animal could ever do to you physically. Yeah, really, really great arc for Nynaeve overall. And I loved seeing that whole, like, getting that backstory, and I'm hoping this helps more people understand, because I know last season, I mean, I haven't read the books, but I know last season a lot of people were like, Nynaeve drives me nuts, she's this, but I'm like, that didn't bother me. Like, to me, I knew it wasn't just her trying to be difficult for difficulty's sake. People who act like that have walls and have their sharp edges for a reason. And now we have more understanding as to how she's built up these walls, why she's so distrustful, why she feels this sense of crazy responsibility towards these kids. Like, to me, it humanized her so much more, and hopefully more viewers can see that about her as well and kind of see more of where she's coming from. Great episode. It really, really was for storytelling. It was not, like I said, the fastest as far as action, but I think we got some great storytelling, particularly on Nynaeve. And sorry, I should touch quickly or lightly on Perrin. We see that the Dark One has got his sea people with him, and they're trying to subjugate apparently these smaller towns, these outlying towns. I'm assuming they must be pretty close to the water. We found out apparently they used to belong to them at some points. I'm assuming some war probably happened ages ago, and they pushed all these sea people back to the ocean. But now they're coming back with the help of the Dark One, and I'm assuming that's exactly why they joined with the Dark One. We see that they're taking some of these girls. My guess is that the one, that little girl who was walking around pointing at people, I'm guessing that she can see who's got, a connection to the power and who doesn't. But anyway, we see that the Sheeran have been separated from the looks of things, and we saw that Mr. Darkbeard there was specifically looking at Perrin. So he obviously sees something in Perrin, but we see that he saw his eyes. I guess he could see through and see that Perrin is not fully human, but I thought it was very interesting to use the line that I want to see the beast. And of course, Perrin was playing dumb, but once again, as usual, he was panicking and his pack came running. The Dark One said that he'll be watching him with intent, and he wants to see how he's going to fare now that he knows that he's got this ability, or I guess He wants him to develop it, I guess is the point. But yes, side note, where's Loyal? Where did they take Loyal? They better not have hurt Loyal. That's all I gotta say. You leave that ogre alone. So yes, that was the whole episode, guys. Again, amazing, great storytelling. Definitely leaving me very much wanting more and wanting to see where we're gonna go next. They just dropped 3 episodes back to back, and I feel like they're gonna keep doing one at a time for the rest of the season. So we're just gonna have to suffer through week to week, but it has been a great ride so far, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you in the next video.